And boom, let there be light. Hey, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to be installing the on-off switch for the Talaria Sting headlight. Now, I've installed the GritShift, I think it's called the Blinder Headlight, and let me tell you what, it really is a blinder. So there's going to be instances where I don't always need this headlight on. You know, like if I'm riding through the day, or if for some reason I need to be stealth and flip this thing off. Also, it does draw on the battery. So if I don't need a headlight, there's no need to have it on and draw, you know, a 0.5% or 1% every so often. So let's get this installed. Now, I did want to make a video about installing the headlight, but because we're going through the exact same process that you would go to install a headlight as to add the switch, we'll go ahead and kill two birds with one stone. So let's get to it. So as you know, as soon as you turn on your Talaria, the headlight goes on. Again, this is the Blinder Headlight from GritShift. So we're going to be installing that on-off switch. One thing that's important to do when you deal with anything electronic is flip off the breaker, and I'm going to remove the battery just to be extra safe. So the wires run from the back of the headlight down underneath this fork bracket here, and then down into where the ignition switch is. So we're going to have to remove the ignition switch. It's actually very easy. It's just 2 bolts. I guess before we go too much further, I need to decide where I want to mount this thing. I think I'm going to do it on the right handlebar because this side's already busy with the display, with the horn. This side, not so much. So we'll put it right here. Okay, so that's installed. Super easy. I actually ended up only removing this one screw. I was able to bend the metal to get it around the handlebar and then screw that back in. We'll deal with cable management later. So with the ignition out of the way, and the way that you can get it out of the way is you lift up on this cap here, and this ridge sits underneath the cap right there. So you lift up, pull that out, and it's going to make it a lot easier to feed your wires down into the battery compartment. And the route that I went is down through behind the light and then back around the fork here. And it would actually be a lot easier if you remove this front plate, but I left mine on because I'm lazy, even though it's just 4 zip ties. So let's go ahead and see what we have going on in here. Okay, so with your ignition loose, you want to locate the headlight wire. If you still have the stock headlight, this connector is going to be black, so keep that in mind. But I already know that this is the connector to my new headlight because it's white. Easy to disconnect this, and once it's disconnected, you'll plug one of these into the bike and the other one into the headlight, because that is your switch right there. Pull that tight. Also, just want to make sure we got full range, no wires getting pinched or anything like that. We'll go ahead and get this connected. So that's pretty much all there is to it. We'll clean this up, get everything tightened up, and see if it works. Okay, now for the moment of truth. Flipping on the breaker, turning the bike on, have it set to off, and boom, let there be light. Sorry, had to say it. But there you go. Got the on-off switch for the Talaria headlight. So this will work with your stock headlight. Again, this is the blinder from GritShift. I also got this from GritShift as well. It actually came free with an order. I think they're still doing it. So if you order one of these, you might get a switch for free. They have a few options, but this is their cheaper option. So we'll see how long it lasts, but That is handy. So I know at the top of this video I mentioned that we'd talk about installing the headlight and the switch, but we focus more on the switch. But seriously, if you can install the switch, you can install the headlight. If you're going to do a headlight, it's just plugging in one thing to the bike, taking off the old headlight, which is super easy to do. Installing the switch, though, it has the Y connector, so you just have to plug two things in. But that's all there is to it, so don't let this be intimidating, because if I can do it, you can do it. If you like this video, you know what to do. Go ahead and give it that thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments below, are you going to install a headlight on your Talaria Sting or your Sur-Ron? Or are you going to install this switch? It's super handy, super helpful, and will get you into stealth mode. And of course, while you're down there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day.